Hello and welcome back to Badminton Insight. So we recently hit 50,000 subscribers here on YouTube. That number still sounds crazy to us. Imagine 50,000 people in a room or a stadium. 50,000 of you choosing to watch our videos and subscribing to our channel. So we just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's watched, liked, commented, subscribed and shared our videos since we started.
Anyway, apparently there's a tradition on YouTube to do a Q&A when you hit 50,000 subscribers. So we thought we'd do one for you, as it might be a nice way for you guys to get to know us a little bit better, rather than just Greg and Jenny who make videos on the internet about all things badminton.
So we asked you guys on our Instagram page and our community tab for some questions, and we had loads. Probably too many to fit into a video, but we'll try our best. So we've split them down into badminton related questions and some more personal life related questions. And don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video where we'll be announcing our giveaway winner. So let's head to the hall and get started.
Okay, so we're just going to start with some of the most popular questions you guys asked. So firstly, we both started playing when we were very young. Our parents got us into the game, so maybe 4 or 5 years old, and gradually progressed through that. Rackets we're currently using, I'm currently using the Victor Aura Speed 90K and Jen is using the Thruster BXR. And then how long have we known each other? Well, probably since we were around 10 years old, so 16 years or so now. And are we a couple? Well, you'll have to wait and find out.
Okay, so moving on to the questions. First one is from Nihal Samir, who asked, what are some tips to always be aware of during a game? Wishing you all the best. Love your guys' channel. Thank you very much, Nihal. So some of the things that we'd say that you need to be wary of, like kind of looking for straight from the outset, is firstly what hand they play with. I think both me and Greg, we've definitely caught people out in the past just by being a left-hander. You also need to be aware of your own strengths and weaknesses and how you can use them to your advantage in the game or try and mitigate your weaknesses. And then also look out for your opponent's strengths and weaknesses and how you can use those to win some more points. And the final thing I'd say is the shuttle speed.
So second question, we've got Ryoni asking, how did you make it to international competition from the youth stages? Congrats on your 50K. Well, thank you again. How do we make it? I think listening to some great advice from our coaches in the past, and also some clever adaptations to our training, and obviously training a lot more. So smart training, quite hard work as well.
Okay, so Ricardo Blanco asked us, how much do you train a day? So on a typical weekday, we train for around 5 or 6 hours. And we also had quite a few people ask us what our daily schedule looks like. So on a typical day, almost dropped the phone, on a typical day, we'd wake up at around 6:30, 7. We'd be on court training from anywhere around 8:30 until 11 o'clock. And then most days we're actually back in here filming over lunch times. Sometimes Greg might go up and string. And if we don't have any filming that day, we'll do some other Badminton Insight work, replying to comments and emails or something like that. And then in the afternoon, we have another on-court session, followed up by some weights or a CV. And then in the evenings, Greg's either stringing and coaching, and I'm doing Badminton Insight work, or Greg's, when he's not coaching, he's doing some Badminton Insight work with me as well. So in general, we both have pretty hectic, full-on days, but we like being busy.
So Stan has asked...
Stan the man?
Yeah, so Stan the man has asked, how do I improve my mixed game? I mean, that's a whole video in itself, and we'll be definitely doing a video on that soonish, so stay tuned for that one, Stan. My tips would be mainly try and set your girl up. That's what I quite like to do. So adding variety, not just hitting everything hard, and getting in good positions in the mid-court and rear court for the guy, and the girl just being dominant in the net, I'd say.
Okay, so next question is, why have you started making these tutorial videos? And the question is for both of you. For me, well, I think we have the same answer pretty much, but we actually started it in almost the start of lockdown in the UK, mainly because we had a lot of people asking us, what are you doing to stay fit during this period where we can't really go to the gym or do anything? And what you're doing more specifically to stay badminton fit. So I think there was a real demand for it, and we thought rather than sending loads of texts to individual people, we'd just make a video and put it on YouTube, and we quite enjoyed it, so we carried on going from there. And I think from there we've really enjoyed sharing our knowledge of the sport, and we have quite a strong passion of trying to grow the sport around the world. Okay, next question is from Scarlet_KillX_. Why do you love playing badminton? Again, I think we probably have a fairly similar-ish answer to this. It's why we both continue to play the sport now, is that it has so many different components. It's not just you have to be really physical, but you also have to have good mental strength and you have to be tactically aware. There's all these different components that combine to make it such an interesting sport and very dynamic. It's not just one area of training, it's just so varied. And I think
it has everything.
It does have everything. And it's also competitive, which is definitely what we both like.
Right, now Harsh has asked, which is more difficult, singles or doubles?
Controversy.
Wow, Harsh, that's a bit of a harsh question. I'm going to be we're both doubles players. However, I would actually say singles because I find it more difficult. But a lot of singles players will always say doubles players are failed singles players, and I think that's probably right to an extent because singles is very hard and the training you need to do for that is very hard. However, doubles is also really hard in its own right. You know, more explosive. I'd say a lot more tactical as well. So it's a very harsh question to ask, but generally, if you ask singles players, they'll say singles. If you ask doubles players, they'll say doubles. But I'm being a bit kind to the singles players here.
Very kind of you.
Okay, so next question, Clever, I think I pronounced that right, has asked, I'm a beginner, which racket and with what tension should I use? Okay, so beginners, we'd recommend using a bit more of a flexible racket. We've done a video on what racket you should choose, and also we've done a video on string tension and things like that to choose. So what string tension? For a beginner, I would say 24 pounds with a thicker gauge string. Karel has asked, who's your favourite men's doubles pair? Is that current time or is that in the past? Let's go all time. So I'm going to say Ku and Tan.
Why?
Why? They were just so good to watch, and for me growing up at that age, I just thought they're awesome to watch. Their playing style was so entertaining, and I think it's a shame really because I actually think despite what they did achieve, they could have achieved more. And I think a lot of people, definitely here at the centre, we were speaking about them the other day with the coaches, definitely agree that they could have actually been even better than they were, which is quite ridiculous to say because they were so skillful, but they could have used that to even more effect.
So Kartik Rathor asked, or said, congratulations, thank you very much. When are you giving us a party? Well, we actually have an open invite to any of our YouTube or Patreon members that if they're ever in Milton Keynes, then they should let us know and we'll go have a party, or we'll grab a coffee with them or something like that. So if you want to grab a coffee with us, then maybe consider joining our YouTube membership. Shameless plug, but. And the next question is quite similar. Someone asked, are you planning on having a Discord server or Zoom call with a few of us? And again, if you are a Patreon or YouTube member, then we do have a monthly live stream Q&A, and we also have a Discord server.
For everyone.
Yeah, all for the price of a cup of coffee a month. Ain't no party like a Badminton Insight party.
Okay, so Freely Freak, one of our YouTube members, hello Freely, has asked, what's the biggest mistake you've made when filming? I mean, there's been a lot. Just off the top of my head, once we filmed our whole video and the microphone wasn't turned on because it's loud in the hall. So that was quite a big mistake. But the next day we went and actually did it, I think, a bit better. Other big mistakes. Oh yeah, we did some outside filming for the shoes video where we did the egg challenge and it was quite windy and the tripod fell over and the camera smashed. And then
that was an expensive mistake.
That was an expensive one. But then the week after, basically now it doesn't open properly, so we have to manually open it every time. The week after we filmed about 40 minutes and then realised the camera was not open. So the camera shutter was basically only showing half of us. So that was a bit of a mistake. But yeah, there's been plenty, but we just keep learning from them.
Okay, so I think that's all of the badminton related questions. Thank you so far for everyone who's asked us one. And we're now going to go home and answer your personal and life related questions.
Okay, so we've just got back from training, quite a hard session, and we're going to carry on answering some more of your guys' questions. So first up we have Badminton Dude, who asked, when are we going to see more than one video per week? And to be honest, when we stop playing, probably. At the moment, doing just one video a week takes up so much of our time, and we feel like we're really, really busy.
We occasionally do the odd short video,
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a stretch. Okay, so we're just going to quickly break up the long form questions with some rapid fire questions I found on the internet. Either hand up for me or point to Jenny, and vice versa. So firstly, who's better on camera? Yes, well, right. Who does more takes?
Yeah.
Who's more angry on court?
Yeah.
3 out of 3. Who influences who more?
What? How do we point for that?
Who do you think influences who?
One sec, hang on.
Yes.
That was a
4 out
tough
of
one.
4. Yeah, tough. Who's better at badminton?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Who's more creative? Yes.
Yeah, I was a
Tough one.
50-50 though.
Who's the better businessman/woman? Yeah, we got
Wow.
that. We're doing well. Who's better looking? Oh, come on. Who's the better driver?
I know you're going to say yourself, so I'm going to take one for the team.
I definitely am.
So next question, Aditya Singh, thank you for your question, asked, what do you do for your living and how do you manage your daily expenses?
Need to go?
Yeah.
Well, what do we do for our living? We do this. We play badminton. Obviously, the last kind of year or so, it's not been many tournaments, so we've not been earning, I guess, much money in that regard. We have some other part-time jobs to help fund our careers as well. So I'm a head coach at Nottingham Trent University and do a bit of other coaching. Jenny does a bit of kind of admin stuff for Badminton England, and also a bit of a delivery driver as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've probably not told anyone that, but on top of that, we're doing these videos, and we've got some products on our websites as well, which is giving us a little bit of money. And those people that support us on YouTube membership and Patreon really does help. Again, a bit of a shameless plug, but no, honestly, it does really help.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, next question. What are we on?
Next question is from Gary Marlowe, who said, you guys are doing a great job, keep it up, it's my Sunday treat.
Oh, Gaza, thank you.
I really want to know how you fit in everything you do and if you plan your time week by week. Also, do you plan your videos ahead of schedule? Yeah, so we often struggle to fit it in all of our week. I think we're both quite ambitious people. I think when we write down at the start of the week what we want to achieve, we write down about 100 things. We actually use an app called Notion, which we basically organise our whole life on. And I think we'd kind of struggle without that.
We try and plan week by week, because especially at current times, we don't know what the next week's going to bring. Tournaments might get cancelled or things like that. So we're very much planners, aren't we, and like to be organised and plan naturally months in advance, but at the moment we're just planning week by week, if not day by day. And that brings us on to Hazik HQL's question. He's asked, what's the best part of making our videos?
Ooh, good question. I would say the best part definitely is all of the comments and the feedback we get. I think we're actually quite blown away by how much nice feedback we've had by everyone. Like every video, we have so many people there as soon as we upload every Sunday at 10 AM, and we get so many comments throughout the week. It's just such a nice feeling knowing that what we spent so many hours putting out every week is actually helping you guys. So.
Yeah, and that's why we do it, isn't it, really? Yatish has asked, how is the feeling of getting fame in something that isn't your niche? Congratulations, woohoo. Thank you very much. I wouldn't say we're famous, we definitely don't, think we're famous. Although 50,000 people is a lot of people. Yeah, how do you feel? It's definitely not our niche.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think our niche is badminton, and we've applied, or trying to apply, that knowledge into the YouTube world to share it out. So
yeah, and trying to learn about that and how you guys best respond with the stuff we do. So how we get good audience retention and make it interesting, and we're trying our hardest to do that.
We had a lot of people asked if we're married.
No, we're not married yet, but we are engaged. Yeah, a funny one. Early on in the channel, I was just replying to some comments. Someone asked, are you married? Or when are you going to get married? And I just said, when we reach 100,000 subscribers. And this is when we had like just over 1,000 subscribers or something like that. And it's kind of stuck since, and people keep reminding us of that. So in answer to that, when we reach 100,000 subscribers, so maybe in 10 years, maybe in a year, we'll let you guys decide.
Yeah. If you want us to get married, smash the subscribe button.
Smash the subscribe button.
Okay, so final question is from Study Lovers Shagun, who asked, what is your future plans and what have you decided about your next tournament? What are our future plans?
Future plans, I'm guessing for Badminton Insight. We have lots of great future plans, all revolved around just kind of growing, and everything we do, we want that to align with our goals. which is to grow the sport, almost give everyone a good access to quality resources for free, which is a great thing that YouTube provides us the ability to do. So yeah, growth in 3 pillars: grow our channel. We want to reach more people around the world and to help more people. To grow as people, like as we've said, we're constantly trying to learn. Every video we do, we want it to be better than that next one. And the last one, grow the sport, and hopefully those 2 pillars will also align with that final area of growth.
Okay, we think we've actually almost answered all of your questions there, and we hope you've enjoyed today's Q&A. Thank you very much for sending all of your questions in. Okay, so a few weeks ago we announced our huge giveaway for reaching 50,000 subscribers, and unfortunately we can only have one lucky winner. And if you're not the lucky winner, then please remember that you can still get an exclusive 10% discount on already price matched products from TRME Sports using the discount code Badminton Insight at checkout. Plus, it also massively helps our channel, so thank you in advance to anyone who does use our code.
So don't miss out on that. Now the lucky winner is Anders Sundergaard. Congratulations, and please contact us to arrange your huge £500 voucher. Although slightly less congrats, because we saw on your Instagram you're a Liverpool fan, which isn't good. But anyway, huge thank you to those that are already part of the 50,000 subscribers. If you're not, then what are you waiting for? Make sure you smash that subscribe button and help us get to 100,000 subscribers and have a wedding. And lastly, please be so kind to give the video a like, and we'll see you next Sunday for one of our usual videos on all things badminton. Bye bye.
See you.